Thank you, Tessie.
You're welcome.
I'm Howard. You can call me Howard. And I want to find out how many of you have fiddled around at the piano, make stuff up. You know, sometimes your parents might say, "Now don't fool around, I want you to practice." But you can tell me, I want to know how many of you have actually made stuff up. Almost all of you. How many of you just do what your teacher says and you follow exactly, and you read everything, and you're afraid to play something that you might hear in your head, or like you hear on the radio, that you're afraid to try to pick it out on the piano? So all of you have tried to play things that you hear in your head. That's good. That's called improvisation. That's what we're going to talk about today. Making something up on the spur of the moment. Do you all understand that? In other words, being a composer on the spot, just creating it. Now, there are a lot of kinds of improvisation. Maybe 5 or 6 kinds. And I would like to talk about all of them and have you come up and experiment with me. Let's say a very important type of improvisation. Come on in, there's some chairs. We have some chairs. Also,
Howard, are there more chairs on the floor?
well,
Or
that chair doesn't work. That's
okay.
good.
All right.
Some of you might want to sit on the floor. That's okay too. But we have some chairs. People in the office are going to come back soon.
Okay. It won't hurt us to stand.
So stand or sit on the floor. Also,
Who wants to sit on the floor?
when the people come in the office, we can ask them for some more chairs.
Okay, let's go and sit on the floor.
David, do you want some fun?
No. These are the only, I think we are.
We have a chair, 2 chairs, 3 chairs. You want to sit down?
Is Jessie sitting here? Cheryl. This is seat. This one right here. Oh.
Here.
Good. Well, I'm glad you all came today. So I'm going to teach you how to get in touch with some type of creative feeling that you have within you and express it through the piano. There's many ways to do that. Sometimes you hear a tune on the radio or something, you hear something in your head and you want to pick it out. You know, so an example of that would be, say you heard this one. Figure it out. Do you pick it out? Now I'm pretending to not know it, but that's one way that you can do it. You hear a tune in your head or on the radio and you pick it out. Have you all tried that? Is there anyone who's never done that? Never picked out a tune? Good. That's one way that we can improvise. Another way to improvise is to not try to get any tune, but rather think about your emotions. If you're mad, if you're happy, if you are in a hurry, you can translate that feeling into sound. Let's say that you're mad because your little brother got to go to the park and you wanted to go too. So you're really mad. So you can create a mad piece. Now, that may not be beautiful, but it sure gets out your anger and you feel better after. Well, let's say you don't have to do it just from an emotion. You can do improvisation from another aspect of life. Let's say you have a pet that you really love. Do any of you have a dog? Okay. Now, what's your dog's name?
Pepper.
Pepper. And what color is the pepper?
Black.
So you might want to translate the sound of Pepper. Is Pepper always sleeping? Or is he always jumping around?
Sleeping.
Sleeping, so you're going to play me something kind of slow, right? And you can put the pedal down. Okay. Now just think about how's Pepper sleeping right now. Play me some music for Pepper sleeping. Don't be embarrassed. That was wonderful. Keep going. He woke up too soon. You can use his hand too. Keep going. Keep doing that. Play me some chords. That was wonderful. Now what happens? Sooner or later, Pepper gets hungry, right?
Yeah.
Right? And he jumps up and he wants to get something to eat, right? Okay, now, how does he sound then when he's doing that? Play me some a little bit more energetic. Try it. He's running. The food's there. He's running. Come on. Running. He doesn't run very fast, does he? Slow dog. Then you did it right. That was wonderful. Thank you, Kelly. All right, that's more of like a story. You have a story idea. You have someone that you feel or that you know, and you tell a story through music. Another thing is to not necessarily tell a story, but think of something that's important to you and change it into sound. Here's an example. I'm going to think of the ocean and the waves going back and forth, up and down. And I'm going to try to create a piece just about that. I'm not going to tell a story. I'm just going to show my interpretation of the ocean. So many little different things that you can do, but I was thinking of the ocean, not a really violent ocean, but something that keeps washing up and down, watching the little pebbles, and you see the little seaweed and everything. Or you can do something else. Think of a, let's say A beautiful red rose. Now, how does a beautiful red rose sound? That's pretty weird, huh? But you could think of it. What if you were going to write a song about a red rose? People figure it out sooner or later, right? So you just close your eyes here and you think, well, a red rose, it's dark and it smells beautiful. But what if it were a yellow rose? How would that sound? Now, there's no right way. I'm just going to show you what I would do right now. A yellow rose is a little bit more vibrant, let's say. So, those are general ways to improvise. There's one more big way to improvise, and that is to close your eyes and not try to do anything. Don't try to get the right emotion. Don't try to get the right feeling or the right story, and just sit there and you play whatever you feel like. You can just sit there and play whatever you feel like. Do any of you do that? Just sit there and fool around. It doesn't matter what comes out. What's your name?
Jeff.
Show me. I like that. Have you played that before?
No.
Good. Don't leave. And you happen to know some interesting chords. That's another kind of improvisation, using harmonies, which we can talk about, but it's hard to teach that in one lesson. But that's neat. If you already know some chords, then there's a lot you can do. But did you know that when you change chords, you're supposed to change your pedal?
Yeah.
So why didn't you?
I don't know, 'cause I'm tired. I feel tired, so I felt tired, so it's kind of how it sounds, I guess.
Aha.
It sounds kind of muddy.
Sounds muddy. So you wanted that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now let me just pretend that you didn't want muddy. Let me hear how you would do it. Do the same thing, but let me hear a more clean pedal. Okay, that's good. Now, could you do that again? Give me those chords again. Can you play the chords in the left hand?
In bass or in the...
Yeah, right here. Right. Yeah. Do that in the left hand. And I'll play this. Good. Now, since you have a free hand now, how about doing some tunes up here? understanding of chords already that people like to call that jazz improvisation, because the chords that you're playing are typical of the style of jazz, right? Do you know other kinds of chords?
Well, yeah.
But you had enough.
No.
Well, I'll give you a rest, and we'll take somebody else. Thank you. Does anyone have questions yet?
Not yet.
Do you want to play something for me? Not really? Another kind of improvisation that we can do is similar to what Jeff was doing. He takes a little idea and he keeps developing it and developing it. But you can do that on classical piece. Now, who knows a classical piece really well? Right here. Not Jeff. You're pretty good on it? What piece do you know?
A couple of minutes.
I don't want you to play the whole thing. I'd like you to just play about 5 measures. Can you do that? What's your name?
Yeah.
Kara? Are you nervous? We're all your friends. Okay, that was great. And you played it absolutely perfectly. Okay. Now, what if you wanted to, let's just pretend. And do you know who composed that? Right. If you know that, pretend that you were Clementi. And you were sitting there wanting to write a piece, because that's how you got paid. That was your job, writing music. And you were sitting there not knowing what to do. How would you figure it out? You'd probably improvise. You'd doodle around a little bit and figure out something new. Now, I want to pretend that you were discovering this piece for the first time. Start it again. Do it again. Yeah. Keep going. Okay. And did you notice a few ideas in that? We have this little chord, right? And then we have that kind of thing. And then we have later that kind of stuff. So let's say there's 3 ideas. What are the 3 ideas? Play me an example. One idea. Okay, well, that's one idea. Another idea is, yeah, is one of those, right? And then we have these thirds going down. Yeah? I'm just, oh, on a scale. Can't forget scale. Now we have 4 ideas. Now who says they have to come in that order? Huh? Now couldn't you do this? I wasn't playing it great because I'm not Clementi. But you can do things in a different order. And you might discover something that you really like. You want to try? That was wonderful. Now, you know what? You're stuck in that key. How about if you take that idea and do it on black notes so you won't be stuck? Do the same different kinds of groups, but do it on black notes.
With black notes?
Or you don't have to do just black notes. You can use them black. Here's a scale idea. doing very well. So what I'm most proud of is that you're not afraid to try it. Okay, Kara, you can sit down. Now, some of you might be saying, well, why should I want to ever do this? Who cares? Why do I need to improvise? Well, I'll tell you why. Let's say you're trying to play a piece, and you're trying to play the right notes, and the right rhythms, and the right pedaling, and the right tempo, and everything has to be right, and you're getting all tense because you might make a mistake. And you don't even want to be there. Have you ever had that experience? But, meanwhile, you still forget that you actually like music. So, once in a while, it's good to just sit down and just play something. Don't worry about the right notes, don't worry about the right rhythm, don't worry about the right pedaling, don't worry about the right anything. Don't worry about what your teacher says. Just sit down and you're all alone and play something that you like, because that makes your heart feel good. Then, after you do that for a while, go back to the piece that's giving you a problem, and it will probably be easier for you because you've gotten out some of the emotions. Do you understand?
Yes.
You're next. Well, what's your name?
Heidi.
Heidi?
Yes.
Come on.
Okay, you want me to play last if I was really frustrated?
Yeah, let's say have you ever played a piece and you just can't get it and try and try and try?
Yes.
Okay, don't you wish you could just do this?
Yes.
Okay, now we've done that. Now what are you going to do? You're going to take a break. You're going to take a musical break, not a coffee break or a sugar break or a rest. You're going to take a musical break. You throw your music on the floor and you put your hands up there and you just glide them along. Watch. Like this. Do this. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. And put your foot on the pedal. Get it ready. And keep doing that. Close your eyes. And keep doing that until you can't stand it anymore. You have to play something. You have to play it. See? Do it again. Keep going. Don't stop. No, I want you to close your eyes and see how long you can stand it until you don't play a note. Don't play a note until you can't stand it anymore. You cannot play a note until you're going to about die, and then you have to keep going. Oh, she's mad!
That's frustrated.
She's mad. You can't stand it. You can't get this piece. You're just so mad at it. And you're mad at your mom, you're mad at your dad, you hate everybody, right?
Yeah.
See? Now keep playing. Get all that frustration out. Right, keep going. You could play louder than that.
Louder.
Well, I bet you could.
Okay. You want me to play louder?
I think you could.
Okay.
That was good. Wasn't that good? Now that you got rid of all your frustration, I want you to play me a real piece.
It's kind of long.
Just play part of it.
Okay.
That was beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. And you weren't nervous.
No.
Because you got rid of all your nervousness.
Right.
Now, wouldn't that be neat if whenever you have to play in a concert, they had a separate piano off the stage where you could bang? Now, who really wants to play right now and show off?
Show off with a piece.
Yeah.
Come on, somebody.
Oh, I didn't really expect anyone to ask.
Should I make some volunteers?
Well, I'll choose.
Okay.
I'll choose. In fact, I want 2 people now. I don't know if you all know each other.
I don't think.
Let me get two people who happen to know each other.
That's the Allison.
Who's that?
The two Allisons. The Allisons. They even have the same name.
Allison and Allison? Allison who? And Allison who? Allison King. Okay. You're up.
Thanks a lot, Mom.
Okay. Are you ready? Now this is called teamwork. You're going to do one thing and she's going to do another thing. Do you want the bass or the treble? Okay, you know what treble means? Treble stands for trouble.
Oh, great.
So you picked the right one. Okay. You can sit down now. Now I'm going to show you what to play. This is related to what Jeff did, except two people can do it. One person's going to do the low part, and the other person's going to do the high part. And since you're sitting this way, you can figure out who's going to do what. Now, what I want you to do is this. Play this chord, and then this chord. Can you do that? Now I want you to count. Do two of these, and then two of these. Two of those, and keep doing that. Do that. Now see what she's doing? Doing the G chord, and then the F chord. Okay, you understand that? Okay, now stop. Now, I want you to do the same thing right here. Play the G chord and then the F chord. Good. Now, all I want you to do is, when she's playing the G chord, I want you to fiddle around on the G notes like this. Something like that. And when she's doing the F chord, I want you to do this. That's all. It's very simple. Okay, ready? 1, 2, ready, go. Now F. That's G. Now F. Now. That's G. Now it's F. Now it's G. Okay, that's good. Now, that wouldn't qualify for a hit song. It's a little bit repetitive. Hi, Caddy. So what you have to do then, the next thing is to see if you can develop it. You don't have to just skip those notes. You can play the notes in between. You can go. You could play the ones in between, and then when you go. Did you ever think of that?
No.
Well, now think of it. Try again. Wait, I have an idea. Let her do it a few times, and you listen to the rhythm, and then you jump in, okay? Get your hand ready, but don't play. Okay, go. Switch. Now back. Now back. Good. Okay, stop. Stop. That is a very good beginning. The next thing would be to change octaves. You could do this. And then, you know what I'm saying? Switch, try that now. Right? With her. Except when you get up to the top octave, you're going to be on the F chord. Right? Go. G, now F. Now G, now F. Good. Now G, now F. That's good. Okay, stop. You're doing great, Allison and Allison. What's the matter? What's the matter? Do you hate music?
No.
Then why are you afraid to make music? You're doing so wonderfully. And the next thing will be, since it still sounds a little bit boring, I would say, don't you think? The next thing is to be unpredictable. You know what that means? If I say 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, then you know that the next note is going to be 4. But if I go 1, 5, 3, 2, 8, you don't know what I'm going to do you? So how about doing that with music? Instead of doing, how about one note and switch around. You don't have to do all of them and run up and down. You can take breaks, back and forth. Try that. Oh, I know what I want. I want you to do 4 now. 4 of each. That was wonderful. Thank you. Now, in fact, I want to get everyone to do this. Where's the other? Look at the chair.
Oh,
Oh,
here.
here.
You want this thing?
No, it's okay. Okay, how's your headache? I'm going to have you think, and then I'm going to help get rid of your headache, okay? But first we're going to think. Come on, I want you to do the same idea. Do you play the piano too?
Yes.
You hope that you don't right now. Come on. Now, where's Allison? Okay, Allison number 1, I want you to sit at this piano. Yeah. Allison number 2, you're going to be over here. What's your name? Trisha? Come on, sit down. And you're going to help her. Teach her the F and the G. Did you understand that? F and G? 4 of those. And, you haven't done anything yet, have you? What's your name?
Anna.
Anna? Over there. I want you to just play 4 Gs. And then 4 If you can do something more complicated, then you can start adding it with your right hand. Ready? And, okay. Are you ready? I want you to pick way up here on the high part. I want you to do 2 hands. You can do that. Ready? 1. We're going to do 4 Gs, 4 G chords, and then 4 Fs, and then 4 Gs, and then 4 Fs. It's very simple, but that's the beginning, okay? 1, 2, ready? On Gs. Now 4 Fs. 4 Gs. 1, out, together. Now play some chords. Now, you can make a pants up. Come on. Come on. Now. Now, G. Why did we stop? I guess it's because it got pretty boring, huh? Pretty repetitive. But actually, wait, don't play yet. I think that you all are relaxing and you're able to get some imagination out onto the piano. And that is good. So we don't have to do any more. But as long as you feel free, every day take a little bit of time and fiddle around, make something up. This is just a little exercise, you know. No big deal, but it's a good start. Okay, you can all sit down. Now, how's your headache? Worse? Better? How could it be better?
No.
And do you know why people get headaches? Often it's because they're thinking too much or they're worrying too much, and it gets clogged up in their brain. And if you use your energy and you get rid of that energy, it will help get rid of that extra energy in your head. So does your headache really feel better, or are you just saying that?
Just a little.
A little bit better? Now, another thing that you can use music for to relax you is as a listener. You can get rid of your headache by playing music, but you can also get rid of a headache or help relax by listening. Some music is relaxing and some music is tense. I do improvisation for stress reduction, which is very unusual. Part of the music may be agitated, and that will match your pain, and then part of the music will relax. So if you close your eyes and you feel a change happen, then if you have any pain, you'll get rid of it. I'm going to close this door. I'll show you an example of this. Close your eyes. All of you close your eyes, and I want you to listen. I'll play about maybe 5 minutes, okay? I want you to listen where in your body you feel the sounds. Some people feel the sounds in their stomach, some people feel the sounds in their head. Each person will feel different, and the sounds, all sound is vibrations, and vibrations will touch you, right? So close your eyes and really see where the sounds touch you and see how you feel. If you have any kind of nervousness or pain, and watch what happens, okay? feel relaxed? What? Did you almost fall asleep? Not that relaxed. Does anyone feel worse? Tense? How's your head? Same? You have a volleyball headache. So that's something that you can do with improvisation. I just made that piece up. I just improvised that piece. I never played it before. But you can do something for relaxation for yourself. If you're feeling tense, you can play the tense, you can play the frustrated, and then, but you can't do that very long, because sooner or later you get it all out, and then you can start playing something that's beautiful. See, and you can create a really nice piece. Do any of you have questions?
That one that you did in the ocean, did you make that up?
Yeah. Did you like it? Do you want to learn how to do that?
I don't know.
It's not hard. Come on, I'll show you. Sit here. It's basically a D. Okay, but I like to expand the D chord. Instead of playing like that, you can play the D chord, take this part from here to here, leave out that note. So now do that down here. And do it with these two fingers. And then up here. Just that much. Now rotate that back and forth. And add the pedals. Now the note you left out, play that in the right hand. Aha. Now to get the arpeggio is roll it. Roll this much. And then roll it again. So you can roll it. Keep this flowing. I'll show you what I mean. Here's an octave, and then you do it in the next octave up here. The same thing. And then you get the ocean waves. But it has to be in the same direction. If you're going up, then don't go down. Go up. Going up, and down, and down. So it is the same direction. Try that. Now down, down. Right! Now do it faster. Without stopping. The ocean waves don't do this. See if you can jump quicker. Now listen. Since you can't jump, you're going da-da-da, wait, da-da-da, wait. Go slower. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Get there. That's better. That's better. Now add left hand. It's tricky, huh? Now this is one kind of improvisation that soon stops being improvisation because you have to practice it. There is a difference. But sooner or later, it doesn't matter. If you can play an ocean piece, it doesn't matter if you improvise it or not. Does that help? Okay, good. Any more questions?
So does the knowledge of harmony actually help or hinder? How do you free yourself from preconceived, like she could not get out of that classical piece, you know, she had that so well entrenched in her mind. How do you completely get them to free themselves of any preconceived thing and come out of themselves?
Good question. Well, you can do a lot of things. If you don't have an understanding of harmony, then you can just pick patterns and repeat them, and they'll become chords all by themselves. But if you're already stuck with the knowledge of jazz harmony in your head, then that is hard to undo if that's all you have. And you have to come from a totally different perspective. That's why I suggested she do it on the black notes. So to get her out of the trap of the sameness. So it's possible you just have to change some of the variables. Change the key area, change the size of your reach, change the meter. You can do improvisation in a different meter. You know, we can play any piece. Let's say, that's in 3. 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2. But I can play the same thing in 4. I could do the same thing in 6/8. I could do the same thing in 5/4. Right? So you can make different.
Just any variables.
If you change the meter, it sounds entirely different. Or you can change the key. You can change the harmony. You can change the register. I could set it in this. I could change, instead of going like this, I could do this. Right? Or I can change melody. It's the same kind of idea, but I'm changing another aspect. I'm changing the melody. So you can change the melody, you can change the harmony, you can change the meter or the rhythm. So that will help you get untrapped.
Great.
If you have too many of the same thing, same meter, same keys, same fingering, then it'll be hard to improvise. So that's why I encourage you to close your eyes and just not worry about it at first. Any more questions? No more questions? I know you have a question.
Howard, are you going to show how to get rid of a headache with somebody playing? Since she has a headache, maybe she can do something.
Well, she has a volleyball headache.
Uh-huh.
That's pretty hard to get rid of.
You mean says emotional headaches are easier to get rid of?
I think so. I mean, if you've been staring at the sun all day and you're dehydrated, you just need to get some rest and have some water. You know, maybe have something to eat. I mean, music isn't a cure-all. I would never claim that. But I did talk about how, because Heidi showed us how you can translate some frustration and then, you know, so if you're having pain, you can try that. You can try that now if you want. She doesn't really want to, so we won't do that. But that is an idea that you can do it on your own. You can use music as a means to relax yourself as a listener or as a player, as a performer. Does that make sense? Does anyone else want to show off?
Jeff.
Play anything?
I have a question. If there was something that you had learned that was like, well, a pop song like, you know, that was made this year, could you like, you know, kind of make it some more, you know, and add more to it or something?
That's
like
the
that?
point. One of the best things that you can do with improvisation is you can embellish a song, or you could even make up your own rock song. Sure you could. Do you have a song that you like, that you know?
Yeah.
What?
That's what I was before.
Did you know how to play it? Come on, let me hear you play something.
Skeletal version. She'd like ideas.
Come on. Let's do it on the good piano.
Took it away, never put it back.
From the music, or did you learn it from your head, from your ear?
Well, I learned it from the music, but it was easier because I had this.
You already knew it, so you could fake a little bit. Yeah. Now, did the music that you have just have those notes, or did it have other notes that you left out?
It has
Let's call those notes the harmony notes, right? Because you just played one note on each hand. That's only two, and most chords have at least 3 notes, right? So you just played these two. You're leaving out an important note. I don't know if it's major or minor. You just played 2, right?
Yeah, it was one of those had another phrase on it, 1, 2, 3, where I did the one. But I think that's not the
That's good. So you played the it's a piano vocal score. And you read the top one. Do you know what she's talking about? Right. But that's really not so good if you don't know how to read chords. Because it probably says F and C minor and B flat with E in the bass and things like that on the top. Do you ever see those grids? They're called the guitar chords. With those boxes. That shows you where to put your fingers if you play guitar. Did you know that? That's what that's for. Right? Do you play guitar? But you don't have to do it on the guitar, that's the point. You can do it on the piano. If it says F, then you know you're going to start on F. And you're going to have 3 notes. Now, I can't teach you all the chords in one lesson. And Tessie couldn't do that either. But you can learn how to make chords. Do you know all about chords? What is play me a C minor chord. That's C sharp minor. You started on C sharp. Start on C. All you have to do is start on C. And if you know C major is here, then you lower the middle note and it becomes C minor. Right? Now play this, not the beginning, but the main part of your song. Which note are you leaving out? Here's the E flat chord. And the note you're leaving out, I'm only playing these 2. Which note am I leaving out? That one. So now look. Instead of doing that, what if I did this? Wouldn't that sound better? So there's your question. All you have to do is figure out what the real chord is and see if you can make sure you always play all those notes. I don't know if you all understand that. She was just playing the melody. What is it? Without the other notes. So here it said, if you look at the sheet music, if you brought it, it says. So it would sound better if you played an E flat chord. Whatever the next chord was. You play the chord with the melody. Now there's a lot of ways to learn how to play the chords. And that takes several lessons, you know. But maybe Tessa can help you with how to read the, you probably do.
Patty.
Oh, who do you check with?
Patty.
It's me. She knows chords, but she's 10 and she got this assignment in a week at school. So that's why she was on her own. She did the melodic line and the bass. And so it's really a good question, but she knows the chords now that you've told her that. She can probably go home. There were like these, 5-note chords that she just got panicky at, and now she can go home and put it in maybe triads or something like that.
Right.
And
that's exactly right. Well, the fact that you picked it up so fast is already very impressive. But when you get comfortable with it, you can add some extra notes in there if you know how to read chords. And then if you get these complicated chords like F major 9 or G sharp 11, then you just temporarily forget that and just play a G chord. Just play a D chord. Don't worry about all those fancy 9s and 7s and fancy things until you understand how to make those kind of chords. But at least you can play the root of the chord and the third and the fifth, the triad part of the chord. You know what I'm talking about? The first 3 notes, those are very important. I don't know if that helps you. Does it? Okay.
that's a good question.
So anything else? Improvisation? Are you all feeling that you understand what I'm talking about? When you're practicing, when you're playing, once in a while, sit down and make something up. And don't care if your parents, that's terrible! Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. Just fiddle around and have a good time. Because sooner or later, that's how you can write a good song. Let's say you're just fiddling around.
Catchy there.
And you'll figure it out. Okay. Well, I think that's all I have to do unless you have any more questions. Anybody? So you're all expert improvisers now, huh? Good. Okay, well, I'm glad you could all come. Thank you.
Do you feel like showing them something about sight reading?
Aha, sure we can. The other thing that I work on is sight reading. You know what sight reading is?
Yeah, it's real.
And you're ready to go home, huh? Well, I'll just tell you really briefly how it works. Have you ever, you got a new piece and you see all these notes and this looks impossibly hard. I don't really want to work on this. Have you ever had that feeling? When you get a new piece, it seems harder. So, what if you could read it easier? Just read it the first time and not have to worry about it. What if you could do that? Have you ever had a problem of seeing a note and then having to look down like that? So basically, the whole time is.
We have the music to that piece.
Do you?
I've heard that one.
Have you ever had that where you're playing and you keep losing your plate looking down? Does that look familiar? Well, there is a good way that you can learn how to get such a good sense of touch that you don't ever have to look down. You never have to look down. You can understand any. I won't even have to look down because I have become touch sensitive in my fingers. And there's a lot of ways to do that, but I've worked on a system to teach you you how to be aware of how the keys feel. And it starts by learning how to play the black notes without looking. If you can play the black notes, 3 and 2 and 3 and 2 and 3, like that, and that's a very good beginning if you can do that without looking. Because then, if you can feel the 3 blacks, for example, then you will be able to find any note in the blacks. What notes are in the blacks? You know? The 3 blacks. Do you know?
F sharp, D sharp, and A sharp.
Right? Now, what white notes does that belong to?
F, G, and A.
And?
B.
Right. So if I feel the 3 blacks, then I can get the F. I find the 3s, I can get the G. If I find the 3 blacks, I can get the A. If I find the 3 blacks, I can feel for the B. So I can play any note. But if I feel for the 2 blacks, I can get the C or the D or the E. I feel for the 2s and I can get the D. I feel for the 2 blacks and I can get the C. I now can play any note without looking because I feel for the right group. So if I want to feel for the A, Heidi, what group should I feel for?
The 3 blacks.
So I feel for the 3 blacks, and then I can get the A. If I want to feel for a C, if I want to play a C without looking, I want to feel the 2 without looking. And then I can get the C. You want to try? Play the 2 and the 3 blacks without looking. First like this. 2, 3. Look at me. 2, hands together. 3, 2, 3, 2. Like that. Right. Now, play me a C without looking. Feel for the 2s. That was good. Now play me a B. Feel for the 3s. Well, look, out of 88 notes, you picked the right one. Now, isn't that neat? Now, that was a good, that's half. That's half of sight reading. Improving your ability to feel the keys. And then the other half is improving your ability to read the notes. Okay? And how are you at that?
Bad.
Bad?
Bad to do it bad.
Now, there are a lot of ways to do it, but a good way is to learn the groups of the notes for the treble and the bass. The lines in the treble, the lines in the bass, the spaces in the treble. Do you know how they go? The lines in the treble, E, G, B, D, F, and the spaces in the treble, F, C, E. Do you know those? Did you learn it that way?
A little bit.
Not really.
She learned it. She learned mi sol ti re fa.
So you learned with solfege syllables. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do.
Yeah.
So you know that way. That's perfectly fine. If you use that way. But do you know them?
Yeah, I know them if I see them. I'm not very good at note reading, but I know the notes.
Well, if you can see the note and know what the name of it is, and know the same one that you're feeling for on the piano, then you can make the connection. But if you do that and you have to look down, then you might get lost. Like you live in, oh, where was I? And it slows you down. So that's why an important part of sight reading is to improve your sense of touch and also to improve your ability to read music. So this, I don't think we want to go into detail about it. I mean, we can if you all want to, but that's what I have outlined in this book that is right over there, the Super Sight Reading Secrets. Exercises to improve your sense of touch and exercises to improve your sense of sight. And both together they improve your sight reading. But people seem to be getting fidgety, so I don't want to keep pushing it. Unless you're all really interested, I'll be happy to continue.
Well, maybe we can all take a little break and
That's an idea.
continue. Yeah, we'll just walk a little bit around.
Okay. Now, here's a piece with lots of hops down here. sight read the left hand. Now just play the top, don't play the bottom parts, just play the chord, connect to the chord. Now this chord, this chord, this chord. Now isn't that easier?
Yeah.
And why is it easier? Because you don't lose your place. You're playing here and then you can stay from one position to the next. The reason that this is hard is because you have to keep switching positions of your hand. So the best way then is to become acquainted with how the keys feel. Now, let's just say, you want to play this note. Don't look down. Don't look down. Now find that note. Is it an A? So it belongs to the 3 group, right? Okay. So that's the secret. You become comfortable with it. Now the other thing is, especially with jumps, you should always sit in the same place. If you sit one day over here and another day over here and another day over here, then you won't develop your memory of where the notes are. You should always sit in the very same place. Now, I think you should sit in the middle of the piano. Do you know where the middle of the piano is? It happens to not be C. Now guess it. Let's figure it out. Take the top note. Ready? Go with me. Play the top note with me. Aha. So there's the middle.
E and F.
Between E and F. Now, that's pretty unusual. So you can get close enough, get to D. See, why would I pick D? Because it's balanced. D is symmetrical. Do you all understand that? D, the note D has a black note on both sides, and then a white note, and then a white note, and a black note. It's like a mirror. So it's easier for your brain to get left hand and right hand if you sit right at D. If you always sit right at D, you will develop a memory of where the notes are in relation to your body. So next time you want to play A after several months, you just go A. You just go right to it. But if one day you're over here and one day you're over here, you're going to forget. And you're going to have to do this. Now, just play this, the bottom notes, with the 5, only pinky. Good. Now you realize the only way you can do that is from feeling the black notes. What if I did this? Now, play it again. Don't you know where A is? Well, why not? Don't you remember? You're sitting in the same place. There's the problem. You can't tell where the white notes are unless you see or feel the black notes. So what you really want to do is play with your hand maybe a little bit deeper and make sure that the other fingers touch the black notes. Now I'm not telling you to play flat-fingered, but I want you to feel flat-fingered so that you can expose more nerves in your hand. Try again. I want you to, just for now, play with real flat hands and play these notes. You're not flat. You're not flat. Flat. Now play the E. There. Flat hand. Flat. Let all this part of your hand touch this. Feel that? Now go on. Right. If you let the rest of your hand touch the black notes, you'll be able to feel. Wasn't that easier?
Yeah.
Isn't that neat? So, but I'm not telling you to play flat fingered, because sometimes you want to play. If you want to play, you want to play clear fingered. have total control with curve fingers, right? Okay. But there's a difference between technique and sight reading. Sometimes you want to really be sight reading, so then you're going to flatten out. And sometimes you want the best technique, so then you're going to curve. But for now, it would be better if you would play flat, so that all the other parts of, all the skin here will touch. If you just play like this with curve fingers, then I only have a little bit to touch. But if I do that, I have all this to touch. And what am I feeling? I'm feeling the blacks. And you remember, you cannot feel unless you feel the blacks, right? So that should answer your question about jumps in Chopin. Does it help?
Yeah.
And you should be able to do that even way down here. These kind of jumps, really big jumps. All right, the other thing to deal with is sight reading, is how well you read the actual note. So there's a lot of things you can do, but I like to start with the drill. You think I'm going to kick you, huh? So here's a drill. If you want to come and sit in these chairs, you'll have a better view. Yeah, there's a lot of things to improve your sense of sight. First, you just say them. Just say the names of the notes.
Maybe you come closer to the piano.
Bottom, top, bottom. Right. Then, can you say them and then play them one by one? But always do the bottom one then the top one at a time. Good. Now, to make it harder, after each note, I want you to take your hand off and find it fresh without looking at your hands. But you know how to do it. Feel for the black note first. So go slow, real slow, 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 slow. So put your hands in your lap. Now say A, and tell me what group you're feeling for. Now feel for the threes, then play A. Right, now find the F, feel for the threes. Now hands on lap. Okay, say B, and then feel for the hands on lap each time after G. Flat fingered. And then, that's right. Now the G, feel the threes. Right. Now the E is by what? 2. So feel the 2. That's right. So you could play any note from your lap. Get up for a second. So you'd be able to play A, F, B, G, G, B, C, A without looking. Now if you can do that without looking down, then just think how easy it will be to leave your hands on. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That, in other words, is making it a little bit harder purposely. And then when you get good at that, it'll be very easy to do in normal. That's just a drill. Then later, do hands together. Yeah. And then when you're done with that, then you're done with that phase. Then you can do it with Bach chorales. Have you ever played Bach chorales? There are 2 notes per hand. So 2 notes in the right hand, and 2 notes in the left hand. So it's like this. And then, you understand? Mm-hmm. It's the same idea, except then it gets a little bit more complicated. But by the time you can sight read Bach chorales, which you can buy in any music store, then you're basically on a good level. You can read many things then with not too much difficulty. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. I don't know if you all understand that, because it's hard to understand it unless you're actually up here doing it.
See, this is the reason I use hymns for the kids to read. And they all groan and moan, and they forget their hymn books at home, so they don't have to read it.
Hymns are just like Bach chorales. They're very, very helpful.
See, and you have that in your church, so that
They all
really
do them. Have all the students do it.
They're very helpful. But I don't think that you should try to play hymns if you're doing this. That would create more problems. It's better to maybe do just the right hand alone or the left hand alone, and see if you can learn to feel the notes as you go. And that way you're developing better habits. But if you play and you have to keep looking up and down, then all you're going to do is get a stiff neck.
And lose your spot in both places.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, one thing I think is maybe getting them to trust that they really can find and identify it. And I ask them how often they get cereal in their hair. And of course they don't. They know right where their mouth is, but they don't look in the mirror to see it. My baby does get cereal in her hair because she's just still learning that. But, you know, you have taught them that they do know where that is and they need to just believe it, and then they can go.
That's a very good comparison. That's right. And not only that, but it can last for long range. You don't think about when you're going to leave your room, where's the doorknob? You know,
Exactly.
You don't have to do that. You remember where that is.
They've learned the distances
Right.
and the spaces. Mm-hmm.
And so the same thing. After doing this, every day for like just 2 minutes, but every day, but 2 minutes, every day, sooner or later, you'll know where any note is on the piano. And then you won't have to keep doing this garbage. And it'll be so much easier to learn new music. And that's the whole point of sight reading, so that you can then start to enjoy yourself. So you have to learn a new piece and you say, oh, I can't learn this, it's too much work. And all you want to do is relax and have fun. But in fact, if you can read better, then you'll have more fun. So all you have to do is practice your reading, practice your sight reading. And if Tessie gives you hymnals to practice your sight reading, then I think it's dumb if you don't do it.
Thank you, Howard.
Hooray!
We
You
heard
pay
it
him for
here
that,
in
too.
front of witnesses.
Howard, tell them why rock music is harmful.
Oh, no. I wouldn't make a blanket statement. I like all kinds of music, and I like rock music, and
Why some rock music is harmful.
some rock music can be jarring to listen to, and there has been tests done showing that it's not healthy all the time because it goes against certain rhythms in your body. Your heartbeat does this. Like that, 1, 2, 1. Right? But rock music goes boom, boom, bam, boom, boom, bam, boom, boom, bam. And it doesn't really feel good for your heart. That's a big reason. And there have been a lot of tests showing how kids cannot fall asleep at night, or adults who have rock music while they're doing their work in their office all day make more mistakes in their work because it affects their brain waves. Their brain waves don't go along with the rhythm of rock music. And that, I'm talking about like really hard rock, heavy beat music. I'm not talking about mellow rock, okay? So there's all kinds of music, and if you're really in an excited mood and you're all hyped up, then to put some rock music on will balance that, and it may be good for you. But I know people who go to sleep with rock music, with their Walkman, and I do you do it?
No.
I don't know.
That's why you have a volleyball headache.
It can be really harmful for long, repeated times to listen to. Also, of course, I don't have to say about the volume. I mean, a lot of teenagers have worse hearing than 65-year-old people now because of the rock music. I mean, you all know about that. The loudness. What, Heidi?
Is that why if you're doing aerobics, jumping up and down stuff, that's why you put on your rock music or your more stuff like that?
Well,
Boom,
I really disagree with that. There's a company that puts out music that's healthy for your heart for aerobics, and it's rock music, but it has a good rock beat. It doesn't have all that. It's more healthy for your heart. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's more of the beat, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh,
What company is that?
I have it at my home. I don't have, I can't remember the name of it right now. They're up north, like San Francisco.
What does healthy music sound like?
I don't know. I haven't ordered any of their tapes. And I don't do aerobics, so...
Well, what rock music do you like? I'm curious because you said you like it too, and what kind do you like?
I do. I'm not saying that I don't like it. I like to listen to rock music. I like a lot of the new things. A lot of the kind of the... I'm not necessarily a big fan, so I can't give you quotes of people that I don't buy their records and, you know, this is my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
But I've been listening to the radio a lot lately. Not the hard type of yelling and screaming and distortion type of stuff.
Heavy metal.
No, I don't like that at all, but I like...
What station? Is it Kiss?
No, I don't listen to this. Give me another one.
KLOS.
Yeah.
KHR went off the air. That was bad.
No, those are all a little bit too much. I listen to
What
a
is
little
there
bit,
some?
little bit more mild ones.
KGIL?
No.
Jeff,
it-
do you know some stuff?
I think it's KNOB and KOST.
Those
Now-
are
Like
close
Barry
to...
Manilow.
Well, I don't think they call Coast rock, but
No, Coast used to be elevator music.
Right.
Not anymore.
It's not. It's not.
And I
Like
like
music.
I like elevator music. Like going in the
Do you like
background.
one of the songs, the name of it?
Name some songs.
Whitney Houston.
I like
Soul.
Whitney. I like
Oh.
Whitney Houston. I think she's great.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah.
So you do listen to
And
music.
Sade.
Oh, yeah.
I like her. But because I think that the kind of music has been improving lately.
Well,
That kind of rock music.
the worst gets worse and the good gets better.
Because some of the popular artists now are really creating some really beautiful things, I think. Don't you think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there are times where you have to admit that
Some of them
that the beat of it is not appropriate for going to sleep to, you know, or you shouldn't study to it. You should never study to music. You should never do your homework to music, even though you may like that, and I like it. That's good for relaxing and you know, but not for working, because it not only will affect your heartbeat, it affects your brain waves. They've done tests showing that people who are listening to rock music, who are listening to nothing, have to study 10 times more to learn the same amount of information. Now, why would you want to study 10 times longer? What?
Because sometimes, like if there's some songs that you like on when you're sleeping, you want to sing to them instead of doing your work.
That's one reason. That's a very important reason, because you get involved with the music instead of thinking about your work. So I'm not trying to tell you not to listen to rock music. I like rock music, but there are times where you should not listen to it, right? So if your parents say, "Turn that crap off," then maybe you should think about, maybe they're right. You know, maybe they're doing some work and they don't want to hear it, right? Or maybe you're supposed to be doing your homework. But I don't think you should say never listen to rock
Something on here.
music.
You just lost the parents.
There's a time and a place. Another time.
It's not
and
at our
another
house,
place.
however. Yes.
Well, see that, I listen to it in the car, but I don't, when I'm home, I like to have silence, to tell you the truth. And I don't listen to it all the time. Because when you're home, it's time to get something, you know, to really, I don't find rock music particularly relaxing. So I like the sound of some of it, in fact, a lot of it lately. But I don't consider it relaxing. What?
If you're really mad and you can't get it out of your mind or anything, is it good to listen to rock music that you know how to sing to get your mind off of your madness? Would that be good?
That is one of the best things that you can do with rock music. Have you ever done that?
Yeah.
Does it help you? Do you get mad a lot?
No.
That is one of the things that I'm talking about. that you not only can listen to some music that's really energetic and get your anger out, but you could also go to the piano and make something up. Couldn't you? The same idea. And create some stress or anger and put it into the music. You could do that. That's a good question.
Any more questions? Anybody?
So are any of you going to be famous rock stars? Write your own stuff?
I write my own stuff, but I wouldn't think of being a rock star or anything like that. Big lights and cloud. Yeah, I'm not into heavy metal and that kind of stuff.
Well, how about just being rich and famous?
That's good. It's not like a goal of mine. It's more of just the music.
Uh-huh. That's excellent. That's wonderful.
I'm not looking for like the being real famous and everyone knowing.
Well, a lot of the people who became really famous are not necessarily very good. So when you say that, it's very intelligent. There are some people who are very good, who are also famous. And that if you can come from that point of view, just keep working on your music and get as good as you can. And then if you happen to be discovered, then you deserved it. But that's another thing that you can do is sit down every day and see if you have an idea, if you have a poem that you've written, and write your own song. All song is a little melody plus a poem. And you can stick the poem to some music. So simple. One of the most famous songs is so simple. Here's a song. I don't know if you've ever heard this. Two notes separated by a sixth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Back and forth. Now. And that made millions and millions of dollars because it was catchy. So you don't have to be complicated to make a good song. That's a very important thing to remember. And that's why where Allison left, or the other Allison, was worried about not being able to do something more than this. But actually, a lot of the music you hear today,
nothing more than that.
All you have is the same thing over and over again. But I'm not saying it's good or bad, but it's catchy. Any more questions?
Okay, if we don't have any more questions, I want to thank Howard
Thank you very
for
much.
sharing with us his talents today. And I'm sure everybody enjoyed this.
Absolutely.
You all learned something?
Good one. Glad you could all come.
Thank you, Howard.